So you guys were I'm hearing a lot of you guys wanted a theme song shortened, so here we go. This girl reviews movies, games, and books. Sometimes she plays them. So does that, and when she does it with the cat, does that make her crazy? Does that make her crazy? Probably. So, it's shorter. There you go. Crazy Cat Lady Gamer Reviewer or Martha Butler does not own any trailers or pictures. I use them under fair use, educational, for education and entertainment purpose.
Hey everybody, Martha here. So today we're doing the last story. Well, still got the Stitch Rape one in this one, but the last story, short story, whatever you would call it, of Puppet Carver. So far, out of all the stories that are in this series, I would say this is my least favorite set stories. I would say. I mean, this one was okay. I mean, the reason why I grabbed this one because this one was definitely freaky, just like this. Foxy is always freaky. All my collection I have down there. This is the one that's always the freakiest. But yep. So that's. Can you read the last few pages? Like last page and a half. So, see you guys. It's okay, she told herself. Just sit on the roof until she's gone. Then I'll climb back down through the window into my room. She flinched as she heard the doorbell ring again. Marley stood on the porch, waiting for the door to open. Being missing has been kind of fun. No school, no responsibility, but hiding out of the pizza factory had started to get old. She missed her boyfriend. Is this supposed to be like this part right here? Definitely has to be her friend. Okay, she did not really have a boyfriend in this book. Before I continue reading, let you guys know. Missing the regular meals. Missing sleeping on her own bed. She had gone to see her boyfriend first. And now she was going to see Peyton to let her know she was okay. Those visits were the first two phases of becoming unmissing. Then she was to go back home for the request of tearful reunions with her parents. Thud! The sound had come from the other side of the house. Marley ran towards the porch steps and to investigate. There was a dark round back of the house, but it was took Marley a moment to make sense of the snap lying on the ground. But then she saw a girl round about her side. Her neck had twisted, and her head titled, and the painful to look pain eyes were wide open, frozen with terror. Seemed to be looking for Marley. Right at Marley. Marley knew that Peyton wasn't looking at her. She would never look at anything again. Marley screamed. So this one was definitely really hard to follow because I feel like that they should have edited this one a little bit more for the last story before they released it because it's kind of hard to follow. Even the person I was listening to. I mean, I have a hard time reading as it is, but the person who was reading it to me on the computer, usually when I read something, I like to have somebody listen to me, read to me to make sure I don't miss anything. But even that person was having a hard time following it. So yeah, I'm not the only person. Hopefully, I'm not the only person who thought this. So, um, so this is about a story about Marley and Peyton, and who are in middle school, I think. And Peyton, Marley's like one of the worst type of friends to have out there, if you ask me. Um, what I think what that encourages you to do something that you don't want to do until you do it. And I think all of us who have definitely been unpopular have had friends like that. Um, and even people who are probably popular have friends like that, but I've never really been part of that crowd, so I don't know. But, like, Marley would encourage Peyton to stay out after school, after hours of her mom telling her to, because her mom watches a lot of crime shows where like kids go missing, probably like Law and Order. But and probably like um, that CIA Miami show where that music that theme music goes. Those two shows. So anyway, or they put like the sunglasses on. But anyway, they never get moved again. No, I got that song stuck in my head. So anyway, she like stays out a lot, like a little bit longer, and they're out like feeding at the park feeding fishes after they are at a restaurant where Marley gets the guts to talk to a guy at school who I guess who's supposed to be her boyfriend in the last part of this thing, even though they don't really talk in the story before she goes missing. But so they have a home ec class where they first do a lot of things with eggs, and their home ec's different from mine. We didn't have sewing, but we did do cooking. But and then like a couple weeks later, they have they get to go to start making get a pizza kit from the Fazbear pizza factory. I guess it's like a cheese factory. I don't know. I bet they go cheese factory, but so eventually they get to go to a factory look around of the pizza restaurant, and then they get to take a kit home, and then they get their own pizza at the school and eat it. So while they're having a tour of the factory, Marley and Peyton. Also, there's another girl that Peyton did ditch to hang out with Marley when they were like younger. Her name is Elizabeth. So I'll mention her later on. I just wanted to make sure I remember her. But it was probably like a girl like me who got who stayed in regular stuff, stayed in like mythical stuff, while Peyton moved on to girly stuff. So or like makeup and stuff like that. But so Marley and Peyton, Marley starts to get bored from the museum, or from the factory, and she decides to take Peyton up to a part of the factory where you're not supposed to go to. It's right above the where the tomatoes are. Tomato juices to make the pizzas basically, and she leans against the rails and starts jumping, and Marley does, and then she falls. Peyton thinks that Marley falls into the tomato basket and dies. So she gets back into tour and gets on the bus, and this is when her teacher notices that Marley is missing, and Peyton comes up with a lie that Marley left the factory and without saying goodbye to her, and she has to let her, and the teacher has to let her, well, Marley's mom, know this, and so when Peyton gets home, Marley's mom calls her and asks what happened to her daughter, and she tells pretty much the same lie to her, and commits to her mom too, and so the next few days she has to deal with the whole entire fact that her friend's missing, and a lot of the other kids at school do what kids do even in serious situations like this, make stupid stories about Marley. And anyway, Peyton gets questioned by the cops that day and has to tell even the cops a lie. So basically she is lying to everybody, and we have all have done similar things to this, not the same exact situation. We have all lied to our parents on similar matters and have to keep on continuing to lie until we have to eventually confess. All of us have done this, but hopefully never this degree. And we all remember it, and we all hated it, and at least I did. But and I can understand what happens to her later on might happen to her, because it can make your belly feel weird after you lie that much. But this is not that same exact situation, probably. So Peyton, the pieces come to arrive at the home ec, and they have to make pizza. Peyton thinks that she's eating Marley after she cooks the pizza, and she is like having a really hard time eating it, basically, and she thinks it tastes weird, and she takes a really long time to eat it. So when she gets home after that, she wants to go to her room, and actually she's had a nightmare for this, about Freddy finding Marley's arm and leg and putting it inside the potato part of it. So yeah. So do with that what you will. And so she gets a bellyache, and she like thinks that cause she watched this thing on Discovery Channel, I guess, where a lady had a tapeworm inside of her, and she like used like some meat in order to make a tapeworm out that way, and for some reason the lady kept it. Weird lady. But so this gives Peyton the idea to do the same exact thing with her pizza to make sure she doesn't have a virus or whatever. And so she ends up putting like a piece of a hamburger on her tongue, goes in the bathroom, and she thinks she sees Marley's hand coming out of her mouth. And so she also I guess she had a nightmare another nightmare about it too. So she ends up like throwing up, going outside to throw up what happened to her, and then she hears a knock on the door, and she thinks whatever she was threw up outside is knocking on her door. But it's actually Marley knocking on her door to tell her, "Ha ha! I didn't die! Yeah, da 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 boo boo." Very, very bad friend. Okay? Don't ever have a friend like Marley. I think we all had a friend like that, and like Marley. I know I have had a couple, but die. But anyway, because Marley is here to tell everybody, I decided to pretend to be missing. I'm like, dude, and spend a night out at a factory. How did she not get seen by cameras? This is really weird. Like, I felt so sorry for Peyton this whole entire time during the story, and now she's dead because she falls off the roof and ends up breaking her neck. Okay? She did not deserve to go out that way, okay? I know she did a lot of lying, but she did not deserve to go out that way. Okay? Marley, you really need, after this, hopefully you stop trying to do whatever you were doing. And learn that life is not about having, being a risk taker or whatever we're doing. But anyway, so this one, I would say, only part I really liked about this one was the part where Peyton was lying, and there was also that part where Elizabeth was trying to comfort her and not make her not feel guilty, and not trying to telling her, even I really hope nothing happened, Marley, even though I am jealous for you leaving her for me, and I really think she should have stayed friends with Elizabeth. But whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give this one probably the same exact score I gave the other one, the first one. And I think that was like a 6 out of 10. So yeah. Somebody, what do you give it? Huh, buddy? I give it 35. So it's hopefully to see the Stitch Rate story is better than this. Let's see what Jack and Ledger, I have a hard time remembering his name. Larson is up to. So yeah. So bye bye.